I know you're all wondering why I'm happy. Actually, in M1000 Talk Show, your number one talk show right down in town. Actually, NM1000 Talk Show, your number one talk show right down in town, in collaboration with African Wonder Woman. And today I've got a special guest, a wonderful legend, a wonderful mentor, and I know you're all wondering who this person is. Yasmin Trendy, lovely to see you. That is also a doctor. Dr. Yasmin Trendy has just joined us. Thank you so much. And of course, hello beautiful, hello beautiful. Thank you. Just hold it right there. Today is a special. This is a special right now. Reverend George Agui Roy is right here with us. Tonight is a very special day. Tonight, if you're not watching me here right now, please log in, because right now you don't know. Right now I've got a professor, my philosopher, my legend. How do I even describe you? You know, I'm absolutely delighted. A special guest in the town here today, you know, and the one and only, if you've heard of this beautiful, beautiful book, if you've had this beautiful book has been presented to me, you know, this is the one and only person who has written, you know, his name is Professor, should I even decorate it? Legend, and of course, the one and only, my Pan-African person, you know, the person who talks about Ubuntu, the spirit of Ubuntu. And you know, I'm absolutely delighted to meet you here in town in London. I've always wanted it to pass. That is why I'm celebrating this moment. Professor Jarrett, here he is. I'm telling you, Professor Jarrett, he's here. You can see him. He's here, right here. Gibril, in Ethiopia, he is here. Right, let him tell us a little bit about himself. And he's written a lot of books, a lot of innovation. You know, amazing philosopher as well. The one and only Professor Momo Muchi. Welcome to my program here today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you went to school, and a little bit about, you know, what inspired you to even go to school. People are watching. You can see. Because Warrior Princess has joined us, Tonya Maka as well. We've got Professor Muchi here with us here today. Tell us a bit about what inspired you to go to school. And I know you always inspire us. Tell us something about yourself.
No, first and foremost, let me thank both of you for inviting me to a wonderful dinner. And it's a Nigerian restaurant. And the food is very special. And I really appreciate that. And I was so happy to join you. And you are very kind and gentle and graceful.
Thank you.
Full of grace. And our discussions were very, very, very good.
Yes.
And I was so happy to find the Reverend as almost identical ideas that I have about Africa.
Thank you.
So it was very wonderful to see both of you.
Yes.
Now you asked me the question about how I end up in a professor.
Yes.
Initially, when I was a young boy, I used to love animals, dogs, cattle. Those are they were the best friends I had with them.
So that was in primary school. You're taking us back to your childhood.
Yes, before primary school. I didn't even want to go to school.
Okay.
So my father insisted that I should go to school.
Right.
So he took me to a church school first.
Okay.
And then from the church school, he took me to a modern school.
Yes.
Then I was a bright student, so everybody
called you professor from when you were young.
When we were young.
I got you.
So what happened was, when I was still in high school, there was the World Youth Forum.
Okay.
It was on Africa-wide. So I became number one in Ethiopia. So I was selected when I was still in high school.
Yes.
So I went to America in Dwight Morrow High School in New Jersey.
Okay.
I finished my high school.
Yes.
Then after I finished, my host family facilitated that for me to be in the university in Columbia University.
Okay.
So I started studying in Columbia University in 1969.
Okay.
But at the same time, when 1968, when Martin Luther King died, I was in America, and I was reading a lot about African Americans, about Africa. So I wanted to decolonize Africa completely. I had that kind of idea. When Martin Luther King passed, I was very, very much hurt.
In the civil
Yes.
rights movement.
That's right.
Right.
At that time. Then after that, we became very. When I was in America, I was very active. The Student Organization for Black Unity.
Yeah.
With SOBO, it's called. And I used to go. I was in the Columbia I was doing physics, and the students, there were no black students. So because of that, I used to go to all the black colleges in Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and all these places, and then all in the media and the colleges trying to attract. And then one of the Dean Coleman, the Faculty of Science Dean in Columbia, gave us a lot of funds and supported us. And then we tried to get so many African Americans to join into Ivy League universities. We tried to do that, and I was one of the most active members. Struggling. We were struggling and we were studying. So we're always working. I was always working. And the teachers used to say, Mamo, you're a library. Are you the library or are you Mamo? So they used to say that to me. That was very nice.
Right.
We're really genuinely interested only in making sure African Americans are also freed and liberated.
Right.
And when I was in Manhattan, 116th Street, Harlem was nearby. Then there was a church, the Abyssinian church, the Ethiopian church was there. Remember, Ethiopia is amazing. In 1829, the first Ethiopian manifesto came out, and it's African Americans that actually declared it for liberation. What did they say? We are Ethiopians, they said. All right? Ethiopia is mentioned in the Bible, in the Quran, everywhere. You're not mentioned, you churches. So don't call us when we go to church. Don't show prejudice against us, racism against us. Sometimes you see when they go to church, the white priests don't respect African Americans. So because of that, they said Ethiopia makes us human, and it gives us direct access to God, direct access to Christ. They say it like that. So it was fascinating.
So that was in 1969.
Yeah, no, 1969 is when I came. They started this movement earlier, 1829. It went like that, and the same thing happened also after 1896 Adwa victory. Another manifesto came out, also in Southern Africa, and that was after the victory of Adwa. That victory was called an African victory, not just Ethiopian victory. And so all of them also celebrated it, and they gave another manifesto. And all they said was, Ethiopia means for us dignity and spiritual strength. And access to God, access to Christ through us as Africans. That what they mean by Ethiopia is Africa. That's what they mean. The liberation of Africa is what they were thinking. And I think that, and also the ecclesiastical side was also helping us in the liberation side. So it's connecting it like that. So that's why I was just talking to the Reverend. I say to him, if you have these great ideas, just use your, even wherever in the church or everything, you should also educate people about how they can change their lives and their attitudes and all the prejudices and everything have to be changed. That's what I was saying. So I say to all of you, it is easy to sing when the streets themselves are alive with singing, with the drum beats, the rhythm in us all. It is easy enough to speak the words that move when the crowd is aroused and wants what it wishes to prove. What is not so easy is to start from the dark, not knowing what to spark. For the real work is the work that no one sees and earns no remark. Don't go for remark, go for work. Be friends, be family, be together. Then trust me, the sky is the limit.
Yes.
Africa will rise.
Yes.
And all Africans should learn to come together,
Yeah.
to trust each other, work with each other, and with humility and social solidarity. I think the sky is the limit. Africa will make it. And I think that day should come.
Yes.
And I hope we should all work very hard
Yeah.
to make sure to bring that day faster
Yes.
than what we are doing now.
Thank you.
That's my advice. Thank you very much.
I'm absolutely wild with that, as I speak to you right now, Gabriel, I can see you calling me Gabriel, you're calling me, I can see you calling me Gabriel, but I tell you what, you're covering that, yeah, that's it, don't, yeah, sorry. So thank you so much. Gabriel, we'll call you straight back. We are on air right now. We are on air right
Okay.
now, so that was absolutely inspiring us. And for me, I'm always reading all your journals. I'm always reading your books. One of the latest books that he's just written here with a lot of, he's written this book with, it's called Advances in African Economy, Social and Political Development. He's written it with Samuel Ojo Tomba, and of course, Mama Mochi, editors. Innovation, Regional Integration and Development in Africa, Rethinking Theories, Institutions and Policies. And you can get this book, it can be bought live, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, people can get this book, so I'll take a picture. This book discusses the role of innovation and regional integration in economic development in Africa. Over the past 5 decades, post-colonial countries have struggled to break loose from the trap of poverty and underdevelopment through the adoption of various development strategies at regional, national, and continental levels. However, the results of both national and regional efforts at advancing development on the continents have been mixed. I can read about it, and it goes on to say, although the importance of agglomeration and fusion of institutions have long been recognized as possible paths to achieve economic development in Africa, the approach to regionalism has been unduly focused on market integration while neglecting other dimensions such as social policy, mobility of labor, education policy, biotechnology, regional legislation, manufacturing, innovation, and science and technology. This volume argues that the immediate and long-term development of Africa lies not just in the structural transformation of its economies, but in the advancement of science and innovation capacity. The book is divided into 4 parts. Part 1 addresses the theoretical and conceptual underpinning of innovations and regional integration in Africa. Part 2 presents case studies which examines how regional economic institutions are fostering innovation in Africa. And Part 3 of the book deals with the sectoral issues on innovation and integrated development in Africa. Finally, Part 4 sets the future research on innovation, regional integration and development in Africa, combining theoretical analysis and a comparative interdisciplinary approach. This volume is appropriate for researchers and students interested in economic development, political economic, African studies, international relations, agriculture, science, and geography, as well as policymakers in regional economic communities and the African Union. And that is why you can see I've looked for him, because you know how much I am passionate about African issues. He's worldwide a renowned philosopher. If you haven't heard of Professor Momo Mochi, please, you must find out about all the things that he has written, because these are the legends of the world. I'm talking about legends of the world here. If you're a president and you've not heard about Professor Mochi, you are missing out. You don't know nothing. I'm telling you, you become useless. I always tell them they become useless. You're listening to HNM 1000 Talk Show, your number 1 talk show right down in town. Now, tell us, what is the one thing that you want the youth to remember? And what are the things that you're inspiring the youth to do right now? Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good question. I would like the youth to be change makers and game changers.
Yeah.
And
When you say game changers, game change makers, what are you explaining to the youth to become?
what I like them to do
Yeah.
is the youth must learn, value that the knowledge heritage,
Okay.
the spiritual heritage, the struggle heritage
Yep.
of Africa, Africans, their ancestors, is incredible. It's very, 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 very strong.
Yes.
And it's very rich. They need to know it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, on the education system, still the education is colonial.
Okay.
The state system is colonial. We imitate outside. We don't value our own. We have rehabilitative justice, restorative justice, not punitive justice. Not justice when you do a crime, they arrest you, and then you go into prison, and you come out, you're still a criminal. No. Our one is restorative justice. Many things like that we have. We have rich culture on the justice side. We have rich culture on the knowledge side. But we don't know it, we don't value it, we don't add it. And what I want them to be change makers, game changers means this now, for them, let them not mimic, let them not imitate, let them create, let them innovate, let them invent, let them be entrepreneurial, risk takers. All right?
Critical thinkers.
Critical thinkers.
Yeah.
I would like them to be in that side.
Yes.
I like them to rethink, re-engineer,
Yeah.
all right?
Social engineering.
Yes, work entirely
Yeah.
how they could do it, but that needs support from all of us also, so that the education system itself has to value and include the extraordinary knowledge that Africans have. I'm sincerely telling you that in the ancient time, all right, Imhotep was called the genius of geniuses, the Einstein of Einstein. Why? Because he did not just create knowledge in the in one sphere,
Yeah.
in medicine or architecture,
Yes.
in astronomy. In almost every sphere, he created knowledge.
Yes.
And that knowledge is something that where the West has taken,
Yes.
learned from.
Yeah.
And you'll not believe how many extraordinary people we have
Yes.
in the African world,
Yeah.
but we don't know them. We don't know. We really have problems.
We miss out.
We
Yeah.
miss out.
Yeah.
And
And
so
we are not
what
right
what
to
I
those ones.
like to see, I like to say to them, to all the African youth, you are potentially all geniuses. Recognize that you can create, you invent, you do many interesting things, but learn to cooperate together, trust each other, work, and then save Africa, save it, liberate it, make it independent, not make it rely dependent, aid and loan dependent from the rest of the world that has been always exploiting Africa. By using anything they give us, they take more from us than they give us. We are told that Africa gives 6 times more resources to the rest of the world than what the world sends to Africa. We are in a difficult situation. Illicit financial flows is many, over 70 billion every year goes out of Africa. We are in a difficult situation. So we want the youth to change. The young people now must not be misdirected. We need to redirect them, and that is our job. All the religious people, all the university people, all the government people, all the families. My humble advice is that all of us should unite to make sure the youth are number one. We must change them so that they can fix Africa in a very, from the current dilemma that our continent is in. And let them also learn how to unite. Let's also create universities where the mobility of I would like, in fact, from every country in the so-called 55 states,
Yeah.
all of them, when they do study, I want them at least 1 semester or even 1 year to go to another place and
To
study.
exchange, have
So to
global
exchange,
exchange
yes,
programs,
and then
okay.
build
Yeah.
more Pan-African universities,
Okay.
and really also value the indigenous knowledge and curriculum, include it in the curriculum, and make it really a really knowledge resource that makes all of our people to actually be very imaginative and very creative and very entrepreneurial, and not just people who seek jobs but creative. I'm doing this. I have now created a technology venture creation course for engineers,
Yeah.
and one of how I give them mark only if they create their own ventures, they do enterprises, and they have done it.
Thank you.
They are doing, you know what? They are
So basically what
they are
you
selling,
want is you
they are
want
selling their
work.
cars to invest in the. Can you imagine? I was just amazed how
Yes.
much. I told them I want them. I would like all of us to give them money,
Yes.
but I also want them to put
create.
some. They must contribute something. So if they do, then they will not give it up.
Yes.
So I want to make sure to be serious, and they are doing it.
Sustainability.
And they are doing it. And in fact, one of the students, she came from all the way from Bloemfontein. She said, I want to see my teacher over Christmas before, or I don't want him to, New Year, I want to say, can you imagine? And they are so happy because they are creating it. So we want to make them job creators, inventors, innovators, rather than just job seekers and things like that. So I think we're doing different. I think we need to also change the
mentality.
education.
Yes. Their mindset.
You know, uneducate them on the colonial education, and re-educate them with African values and identity and rich knowledge that has come from Africa, acknowledging it with so they become so confident and strong. We want them to be like that. That's why they can be change makers and game changers. That's what we want to do. Yeah.
Absolutely, thank you. Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, Darren, you've joined us. Lovely to see you. Idewaga Shuro, lovely to see you. And Walter Onunga, lovely to see you. I want to appreciate you this evening. Thank you so much, Professor Gerard. If you've joined us as well, lovely to see you. And Gabriel, I'm sending you this so you can put this and edit this clip to us. We can see you. I'm absolutely delighted because what you're telling us is to rethink our whole education system, to transform our systems right across Africa, appreciate and value our education system, and also understand that we've got intelligence, and that intelligence we need to also be sort of like evaluating it instead of just constantly buying what is not correct. That is what you're challenging our minds.
That's right.
Our mindsets must change. You are
Yes,
listening
yes.
to the one and only, and of course,
On
if
philosophy.
our philosophy should
Yes,
change.
yes.
That's what you are saying.
Yes, let
So-
me just say something about philosophy.
Go on.
Before Europe created the African Enlightenment,
Yeah.
the European Enlightenment,
Yeah.
we had the African Enlightenment over 200 years before. And this was created by Zara Yacob was the philosopher,
Yeah.
and he invented an extraordinary thinking. Let me tell you what he said, and I think all of you should also learn from him.
Okay.
He said, the rich are always miserable. They are not always happy. When they have money, they want more money. When they don't get it, they get hurt and get hurt. But the poor, he said, are happier. Since they don't have money, as long as they have something to eat, they are happy. So,
And which one do you prefer yourself?
so what I really like Africa to do is the following. We don't need very rich, few rich people.
Yes.
We want all Africans, all right, to have their well-being, to have security, to have homes, to have food, everything like that. That's what we want. And trust me, whatever problems you may think about China, they have something. There are two things that they have that we should learn from them. They give everything they take from outside, they give Chinese characteristics. What do? Everything we have in Africa,
Yeah.
others take it from us,
Yeah.
and we lose our characteristics.
Thank
That's
you.
what we do. So that's what happens.
Thank
The other thing with the Chinese is, trust me, they have become a rock star country. Why? Poverty is eradicated completely. They have done it. No matter what problems they have, whatever stealing, anything is what they do, whatever happens, they have done. The other thing is, they don't have very rich people and very poor people. We don't have things like that. They created a system, an arrangement where the state and others act in such a way that we do not create specially, all right, individuals that are especially more wealthy and then a lot of poor people. No. In Africa, we should also learn to make sure all the people in Africa, we have no beggars.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
No one starving, nothing like that. We need to create it. We have every wealth. We are the richest continent. Because of that, we should be able to handle it. What we lack is leadership. We lack systems, governance, institutions that can function to make us do this. I hope the day will come when we all unite, learn how, all the division of labor, the division that they have done to us.
Yeah.
I think we overcome that.
Yeah.
And then I think we should also really value our own philosophy.
Yeah.
Others dismiss us.
Yeah.
I told you there's a guy called Louis Wolfert. He wrote a book called The Natural Nature of Science.
Yeah.
And then he said, all non-Western science, especially African science, is primitive. But Ivan Septima, many of other people have written about blacks in science. You not believe. I've written even, in fact, in Middlesex.
Yeah.
I ran it took me 2 years to create a non-Western science course where I developed a lot of the African science. And many things like that we have done. Ideas of science and so on. So there's a lot of science from Africa, a lot of indigenous knowledge we have. And that, if the young people know about it, they will then be very proud, strong, confident. And that's the time we need, and we should work on it and make Africa
Big.
stand up,
Stand
shine.
up. Stand up,
Move
stand
on.
up, oh,
Yes. Stand up, yeah.
stand up
Bob
for
Marley.
your rights.
Africa unites.
African Unite. I tell you what, if you're just listening to me right now, here tonight I have got Professor, the one and only, one of the greatest legends in history. I'm talking about greatest legends in the history of humanity. And I'm talking to the one and only Professor Momu Muchi. So if you've not met him, he's a Pan-Africanist. And by the way, for those who don't also know, he is the person who brings in the idea behind, we are 7 years behind. You told me we are 7 years behind. And he is the person who is
The calendar.
The calendar of
It's
Africa.
not Julian or Gregorian. We have an African calendar.
An African calendar.
We have our own alphabets.
He's the one who
everything.
brings in all these ideas. And you know, when he told me I'm 7 years younger, I had to celebrate because I knew that I was living in 2014, and I claim it, I accept it.
Our Reverend is also 7 years behind.
7 years behind, we accept it. So tonight, I'm absolutely delighted. This is a special, your one and only at JNM 1000 Talk Show, your #1 talk show right down in town, and you're hearing from the one and only, the world-class professor of science, African science, right here with me in United Kingdom right now, this hour, this moment. This is being sent right across the whole world right now. Thank you so much, author Janelle. Lovely to see you, Yasmin. And thanks for the short notice as well. I'm delighted. I thank God that I have met you. I thank God because I've shared wisdom in the table with you. And there's no greater moments than this one, because I love sharing. I love sharing goodness. And there's one more thing that you're going to leave us with. I know you said the spirit of Ubuntu is one of the greatest things. Is it the same thing you want to leave the world with, the spirit of Ubuntu? You want us to learn to appreciate the spirit of Ubuntu?
I think in Africa, the way Africa has suffered with slavery, colonialism, imperialism, now neo-colonialism, what we have is the others still want to especially they want to, the rich resources of Africa they want to take.
Yes.
Because of that, the division, the countries, the states we have are artificially fragile, and the borders are cynically done, and it's colonially done. But still, they call us Anglophone, Lusophone, Francophone, Levantine, so we're divided like that. Because of that, we need Ubuntu to unite us.
Thank you.
Ubuntu means there's an I in you, there is a you in I. You are me, I am you. If he is me, why would I want to hurt him?
Never.
I should support him.
Thank you.
I should love him. All right? We should work. So trust him. Work with him. All right? And what we need in Africa is exactly that.
Thank you.
All our people need to practice Ubuntu. If they do Ubuntu, they do not need war. They do not need soldiers. They do not need weapons.
Thank you.
If God created all of us, it's the right of God to take us. If we kill someone, we are actually violating, also making God upset. I mean, it hurts God too, not just us, not just the families that are losing.
We are
them.
a unit.
Yes, we should be one family, one unit, one community, one humanity, and we should value our humanity, our social solidarity, all right? And no conflict, no war. And if there's conflict, we should immediately find a way to learn how to agree, even when we disagree, to find a way to re-agree. Some new approach with the value of Ubuntu we should do Ubuntu is not just a savior of Africa, it's a savior of the whole world. There will be no war if Ubuntu as a philosophy is embedded in the governance, in the leadership, right, in the institutions, in the systems of how we run.
Thank you.
We need to depoliticize dirty politics.
Thank you.
Clean it up. You can clean it up with the philosophy of Ubuntu. We should do that, and it's very, very important. We also have, as I told you, we have this Pan-Africanism we have, African Renaissance we have.
Yep.
We even had, as I told you, Ethiopianism philosophy because of the manifestos.
Yep.
The reason is because what happened was when our people were going to church,
Yeah.
the pastors used to preach, saying that you black people are Luciferites. They used to say that to them. Then the pastors, our own ones, said, please don't call us this. When you say that to us, we bow down. And so we make us, hurt us. Is there any chance you give us a chance so that if you can't preach properly against us, can we preach outside, give us a space? They refused them. When they refused them, they opened up their own church. They called it the Ethiopian Church. South Africa, the Ethiopian Church. Yeah, the Abyssinia Church or something. In America, all over. West Africa, everywhere it happened. Not just in Southern Africa. In Nigeria too, everywhere. Cameroon, everywhere this movement was very, very strong. Because it was very much against us. So what did they say? When they say Ethiopian Church, because Ethiopia in the Bible says the Ethiopia stretches the hands unto God. There's this thing in the Bible. So they said, and what they said was, Ethiopia made us feel, human. Our humanity, it expressed our humanity. It also made us, right, to reach God directly, not to be distracted by your preaching against us. So
I'm
they
going
said
to
like
leave
that.
it there right
Yes,
now
that's
so
what they
people
did.
can read about you.
Yes, yes.
And I'm going to say thank you so much. I
Yes.
believe in United States of Africa. That is a comment just coming in
Yes.
right now. I love it, but I tell you what, I know that we are going to read more about you. I know you're setting up a foundation. I know that we need to learn more about appreciating Africa holistically, and that is it is because of people like you and even Dr. What was his name? The other one that I met with you, Dr. Sakeli, was it Sakakeli? Was it?
Yeah.
Dr. Jibril, was it Dr. Sultan
Yes.
Jibril?
Yes.
So I want to appreciate Jibril, wherever you are, United States, and all the other professors and
Yes.
doctors that you're working with
Yes.
to bring the work of Pan-Africanism. We thank you.
Yes.
We thank you. We celebrate you. Until then, I leave you with that. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
you so much
I really
for
appreciate you for
joining
coming.
us. That is just, we just had to timely capture these moments, but I will be bringing you back, and we are coming back live on a Zoom. Please keep an eye on the Zoom. We're going to be inviting all of you. See you later, everybody. Bye.
Thank you so much.
See you
I
later.
appreciate
Thank you. See you
Appreciate all
later.
of you.
Bye.
Thank you.